Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. This might be one of the most underrated coastal towns in the entire state, if not the entire eastern seaboard. But here's the thing, people either love living here or they move here and they realize it's not what they're looking for. It's not what they expected. And that's exactly why this video matters. Because today I'm going to discuss and break down the real pros and cons of living in Sneads Ferry. No hype, no sugarcoating, just the truth you need to make the best decision for you if you decide to make this move. Hey, I'm Stephen L. Skakandy of living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina in the Skakandy group, and I help people just like you move in and around Onslow County every single week. So if you're moving in 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months, we've got you covered. So if you're thinking about moving anywhere near Sneads Ferry, North Carolina, Jacksonville, Topsail Island, Richlands, Hubert, places like that, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to Living in and Around Jacksonville, North Carolina, because this channel is all about helping you make the right move. Let's start with the basics. Where exactly is Sneads Ferry? Well, it's right there. Anyway, it's tucked right between Jacksonville, North Carolina, and of course, North Topsail Beach, right on Highway 17, right along the New River. You're looking at roughly 5 to 10 minutes to the beach from here, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes to the good old Camp Lejeune back gate, and about 25 minutes to Jacksonville, North Carolina. From there, I would say 45 minutes to Wilmington if you want to go there for shopping. And I would say that makes it hard to beat location-wise. Absolutely close to everything. And of course, if you need to get out of here, it's not that far from 40, which will then help you get anywhere you need to go east to west. Now let's talk about that small town feel versus big city living. And that's where things start to really split people, where Sneads Ferry is not a city. It's a small coastal fishing town, okay? That means that it's quieter than where you might be moving from. We like our slower pace and don't want that changed. It's also a tight-knit community. But that also means there is no big malls here. You do have limited shopping. Forget about the nightlife. And you're trading convenience for a slower paced lifestyle. So don't come in here telling me about where it is in XYZ, because we don't care. You're welcome to join us if you're willing to adapt to our community. So let's talk about lifestyle. What I'm talking about is flip-flops every day, boating, beach access, golf carts in the community. That's actually like another vehicle for people around here, the Sneads Ferry golf cart. It's almost as ostentatious as a Cadillac or your favorite Ford Crown Victoria. That's the kind of things you get in Sneads Ferry because of our lifestyle. Now let's go ahead and talk pricing, because pricing is really important. Did you know that Sneads Ferry is extremely affordable? It's slightly more expensive than Jacksonville, and it's a lot cheaper than Wilmington. So for mid 300,000s is entry-level price point, 300 to 400,000. And believe it or not, if you want to get on the water, this is the best part. It's only about 700 to 1.5 million as I do this video. How's that for some cool pricing? Here's yet another pro that most people living in Sneads Ferry don't realize. Sneads Ferry only has county taxes, no city tax. That keeps your property taxes lower than in many areas of coastal Carolina. And over time, that adds up big. Now, as I write this, it is true that there is a tax revaluation for Onslow County that's coming. And in that tax valuation, we're not sure exactly how things are going to shape up. I've done a video recently about that, and what we do know is the tax valuations have gone higher, but we don't have the final number. We don't have that June number. We don't know what the rate's going to be. So our taxes theoretically could go up, could go down, or stay the same. We just don't have all the information yet. So it's important to understand that. What's yet another pro for Sneads Ferry? The area has exploded since 2020. We've seen massive population growth, a lot of new construction pretty much everywhere, increased demand from the military and relocations. And what has that done for home values of people currently living here? We are up significantly over the last 5 years. Gosh, I can remember being here, and I have been in the area over 25 years now. And I remember when you said you lived in Sneads Ferry, it was assumed you're either a fisherman or a farmer. And that's not the case anymore. There's certainly been a lot of changes, a more diversified economy, as you can see here. Sneads Ferry is truly unique because you get some really neat old school fishing homes, brand new developments, and waterfront communities with golf course living. And they're all within a short distance of each other. So some of these popular communities include places like Mimosa Bay, which is a wonderful gated community with a pool and a clubhouse and a lot of new homes. North Shore Country Club, which is a community with an exceptional golf course, which is much beloved by the people that live there as well as the members that attend. Chadwick Shores, which is a waterfront community that has a mix of homes that are 40+ years old as well as brand new construction. And then you've got the Preserve of Tidewater, which is a community with multiple builders and various floor plans. Hey, just to keep it real here, I've got to cover some cons. And that's shopping is limited, first con. So you've got Food Lion locally, you've got a Publix in Surf City, and although a Publix is coming locally, you've got to go to Jacksonville or Wilmington for more shopping. So if you've got to make a Target run or a Lowe's run or a Home Depot run, you've got to go out of area. And that might be a bit much for some people to handle. Now, as I said before, population growth is exploding, more people are coming, and therefore more shops should theoretically follow. We're just not there yet. That's just being real. So be aware. If you're looking for something more than bread, milk, or fishing lures, you're gonna have to drive a little further than maybe you're used to. Well, the truth is we're not done with all our pros yet. What if you're military moving to the area? Well, that's huge. The commute is huge. 5 to 12 minutes from the back gate to Camp Lejeune. You're also close to such places as Stone Bay. And that is ideal because if you're military, the morning starts at 0 dark 30 and can go quite long. So if you've got to get to and from base, that's ideal. Now, how about some cons with commuting? Well, if you're commuting to Jacksonville or Wilmington daily from Sneads Ferry, the reality is that there are traffic bottlenecks at certain times, namely work hours, both in the morning and the evening, and you have 2-lane roads. It's 30-60 minute commutes. Fender benders do happen, and that can get very frustrating very fast. There's no way around it except vary your routes and vary the times you leave. But if you're active duty military, that's going to be a problem. It's really not something that can be done. So what do I recommend in that regard? Grin and bear it. I mean, unfortunately, that's the price of living in paradise, having to deal with that. Oof, this is a big con, flood zones. So some areas are in flood zones, and that means that you can have possible flood insurance issues that can cost anywhere from $900 to $3,000 to keep your home under flood insurance. You have obviously higher risk near water, and this is something you need to check and weigh as you start crunching the numbers and try to figure out things like payment and what you're looking at there. Well, I can tell you this, if you could see water, it's a good idea to have flood insurance. And my Marines and sailors think fast. What's a nickname for Camp Lejeune? Camp Swampy, that's right. So I tell people, we're close to the Atlantic Ocean. You can see water from here, and there's no terrain features that would stop the angry water. So that's why I tell people, consider flood insurance. That's why you should do it. The maps have a tendency to change over time, and even if we find you a place that doesn't have it now, that's not to say that 5, 10, 20 years from now, you very well might find yourself having to purchase flood insurance. So forewarned is forearmed, and I just ask you to keep that in mind as we begin the process and go from there. Another big bad con, hurricanes and weather patterns happen. You're on the coast, but there is an upside. We have very strong infrastructure against this stuff here because we encounter it. We have fast recovery times because we have a motivated population. And us locals are prepared. We believe in the salt life. We have generators, tarps, chainsaws, and extra bottled water. So take that on board and join us. We'll be ready. You can be too. We'll show you how. What about the schools in Sneads Ferry? What are they known for? Well, as far as public schools are concerned, you have such schools as Dixon Elementary, Dixon Middle, and Dixon High School. They currently built a brand new middle school that's absolutely beautiful. Now, we understand public schools don't meet every child's needs. There are plenty of tutors located in Sneads Ferry, believe it or not, and there are some private schools. The Treehouse Private School just opened up. It's right on Highway 172, just outside the back gate of good old Camp Lejeune. And currently they have a program that is kindergarten through 8th grade. So that's a possibility for the younger kids. How's the feedback for the public schools versus private schools? Well, they're both fine. It comes down to the individual student's needs and the kind of tests they take and what their plans are for after school. That will help you determine what's the best way to go. Another question I get asked frequently is, how is crime and safety in Sneads Ferry? Is it a safe area? And my question always is, compared to what? Okay? If you look at national statistics, I think you'll see that Sneads Ferry is very safe. Depending on where you're coming from, that's also going to play a factor. But my belief is because crime is low here due to it's below the national average rankings, if you look at that, we still have minor instances. But if I had to be asked and answer, why do I think that is? I think that's because of the number of trained Marines and sailors in the area. Face it, if you're not very bright and you want to cause trouble, this is not the place to come, because you're certainly going to get more than what you bargained for. So I don't recommend it. I think that has more to do with MARSOC being here and all the Marines and all the sailors, but that's just my opinion. Did you know about the food and local vibe here? This is where Sneads Ferry really shines. Fresh seafood here. We are actually the shrimp capital of the world. Davis Seafood and others bring in shrimp constantly, and it's absolutely awesome. Big, large shrimp, it's very tasty and very fresh. We've got some great local restaurants. We've also got the coastal charm aspect, okay? So you're just not getting big city dining, and if you're looking for a lot of variety and a lot of ethnic food, you're not going to find it here. But what you do get is authentic coastal food and authentic coastal living. I'm still keeping it real, and I'm giving you pros and cons on this. So you're going to ask me about the job market, and I gotta say, that could be considered a downside. Why is that? Well, because of limited opportunities. Most people that work here, they work in Jacksonville, they work in Wilmington, or they work for the military. So they're all gainfully employed. this is just not a major job hub. Having said that, if you like to and enjoy working with your hands, we can find you many great jobs to do. The boats are hiring. They need good deckhands and fishermen and people that can work in the elements. We also need trade craftsmen to work in the housing industry, carpenters, electricians, painters, HVAC technicians. Those folks are all in high demand and can find gainful employment. But if you're looking for Silicon Valley type jobs and all the types of varied jobs to find in a New York City type environment, you're just not going to find that here. Okay, the question of questions. Who is Sneads Ferry perfect for? Who would be a fit? Who should be here? Well, I would say this area is absolutely perfect for you if you want a coastal lifestyle, if you want a quiet environment, if you want a quick military commute, or you want beach access. If you fit 1, 2, or even all 4 of these categories, I think you're a perfect candidate for the salt life that we have here in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. On the flip side, who should avoid Sneads Ferry? Well, this area might not be for you if you thrive and desire big city energy. If you're looking for that pumping nightlife that might not just be on Friday and Saturday nights, but I would say in places like Los Angeles, San Diego, New York City, you can probably find something every night to do. If you want tons of shopping with all kinds of exotic fares from all over the world, or if you want a walkable downtown area. So if any of those 4 are a desire for you, I would say maybe you should think about avoiding Sneads Ferry as it not being for you. Okay, it goes a little something like this. Sneads Ferry is an absolutely incredible place, only if it fits your lifestyle. And you have to make the determination if it fits your lifestyle or not. But that's exactly what I help people figure out every day. So if you're thinking about moving to Sneads Ferry, Jacksonville, or anywhere along the coast, call or text me directly, 910-920-7434. Email me at Stephen, that's Stephen with a PH now, at skakandygroup.com, or visit www.skakandygroup.com. But most importantly, make sure you like, click, and smash that subscribe button down below for living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina, because we're dropping videos like this every single week. We break down such things as the neighborhoods, the cost of living, important market statistics, and pros and cons of every single area. My goal is to help make this the smartest move for you possible, whether you're moving in 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months. And until next time, we're going to see you around Sneads Ferry. I'm going to head out and get some of that awesome shrimp, and I hope that you come and join me. All right. I don't know what I just said. Oh, me. I didn't want to split my pants.